To another live stream. Please share, subscribe, hit that like button for me, and let's get into this live. Black people are the children's of slaves. You see, we are already in shape. See, you've been shaped by a slave master, shaped by his educational system, shaped by his political judicial system, shaped by slavery and injustice. See, that's why you come today wearing the name of your former slave master. Because, brothers and sisters, you no longer who you are. You see, you what he made you. So how the hell, if God called you, you go downtown and look for a license? See, if God called us, we don't need the white man to give us a license. See, you are already licensed by the call. Did Moses go to Pharaoh? I met Pharaoh from the burning bush. You see, that's disrespectful. So now we come to the little child. But today we are all grown up. But you see, we grown up and messed up. You see that little child. Jesus says, expect as you become as that. Meaning, we got to be remade. You know, when Jesus went to Nicodemus and told Nicodemus, except as you be born again. So Nicodemus said, well, do I have to enter my mother's womb for a second time? Well, no. See, brothers and sisters, you've been made today other than what God then made you. He made you the glory. See, white man made you his nigga. Excuse me. He called you boy all your life. But God today is trying to make us man again. So now there's a lion sleeping in the house of Judea. Now who awakened him? You can't send a lion to waking up a pussycat. So I said, how should they know? Except as they have a teacher. And how should they have a teacher? Except as he be sent. Now, your former slave masters and their children are not going to free you from their grip. So God has to send someone that he can free us. So that way we can become true disciples and apostles of Jesus the Christ. Now there's conflict that's going on. And everyone has to be straightened out. See, the house is divided against itself. We know it can't stand. When Satan's kingdom is divided against itself, it cannot stand. Because the time has come. Now, we see today God is significant for all our needs. This is why, brothers and sisters, I do not have to beg today from their oppressors or march on their capitals with my hat in my hand. For how can I, on one hand, preach this doom of the oppressor system and then ask of the oppressors? Allah is our God, we are His blessed, He has given all the world to us. If we would but first give our all to Him. See, I met with Allah as Moses met with Jehovah. Allah has revealed the truth into me. It is up to you to believe it or let it alone. But this does not negate the fact that I know the end of it all. I know tomorrow. I will be happy to tell it to you if you will believe it. I want you to know that the oppressors are exerting every effort to prevent you and me from uniting. They do not want a united Negro. They do not want an Islamic so-called Negro. They know that Islam freed the black man for fear. As a result, it set their oppressor teeth on edge. The power of Islam and best seen when compared to the failures of Christianity. First, Christianity had failed you because it was the religion would first place you in slavery. Secondly, we see this Christianity have failed you because through its doctrines of turning of the cheek, as when you're incapable of defending yourself in this very hour. Thirdly, Christianity have failed you because of its calls you to forsake the pursuit of justice in this world and the pursuit of an illusory and non-existent justice beyond the grave. Now, my beloved, you are faced with the same problem that beset Moses and the children of Israel during the era of Egyptian captivity. See, when you're a Muslim, whenever you're a Muslim, is a Muslim would defend his brother. See, Christianity teach you if the enemy comes in the hour to slap you on one side of the cheek, you turn the other. If he takes your coat, you don't ask for it. You see, America can't do that now because if America's cheeks was to get struck, she's going to prepare her army. You know, a Pope or Rome can't do it. The governments of America can't do it. So you know, brothers and sisters, if you and I don't wake up to execute this law that Moses gave, an eye for an eye and a nose for a nose, we might well be dead and forgotten and not be talked about. So now, I want to say, my beloved, what good is this Christianity to you and to me? And that religion don't defend us against lynching and rape. See, we will be a fool today to trust that religion. So now, my beloved, you are faced with this same problem that beset Moses and the children of Israel during the eras of Egyptian captivity. Yeah, the people that's not the true Israel are filled with, being pedophiles. Yeah, those people that's over there in Israel, they are not the real Israelis. Yeah, Jacob being abandoned, all behind that Jacob had been cursed, all behind the Edomite, the Caucasian people. Now let's keep that real. We know those people over there are not the real Israelis. We know God had to reestablish Israel again, that he has to inherit Israel and land. We know that. So let's go. Now, my beloved, today you are faced with the same problem that beset Moses and the children of Israel during the eras of Egyptian captivity. Pharaoh did not want Moses to preach the religion of Jehovah in Egypt because Pharaoh knew such preaching will bring a damnation to his wicked kingdom. So it is that the oppressors did not want you to hear the gospel of the black man. They knew that this gospel one day be their undoing. See, Pharaoh did not want Moses to call the Jews to the wall to wine at sundown. He knew that once the Jews was united in the name of the religion of their fathers, they would no longer abide in slavery. Pharaoh did not want Moses to teach the gospel of justice on this side of the grave. He knew that once the Jews determined in their hearts to seek justice here, and now they will rise up and demand a place in the sun. So then it is with us. Our oppressors are determined to keep our eyes in the sky while they control the lands on our feet. They're determined to brawl us down in an unpractical ethic of turning the other cheeks, the better that they may smack our cheeks and rob our pockets. Tell your mama to shut up. That's why God's coming to kill these sorry Edomites. He's coming to kill these Edomites because you're not worth a breath on this earth. And the Lord hath not cut short the day, but no soul will be saved. But now, brothers and sisters, you are seeing for the sake of his elect, he has shortened the days. See, no time passed with God. No time passed with him. So you got to come out of this wicked, wild lifestyle of white America because she have no permanent future for you. She have a future for herself. See, America thinks that they have a future for herself, but in a day like this, she will rally. She'll think that she's having a good future here. Then all of a sudden, hell's gonna break out. You can hate me, but as long as God ain't hating me. See, your hate don't matter if God ain't hating me. We can prove to the world that we can't live with a people in peace. Because today, you see, you have condemned it and murdered the innocent ones who is not opposing you. So, brothers and sisters, we must not be deceived today by the rush towards integration that had become the theme of the past few years, just as the Romans were to beware of the slave master bearing integrations. Why I ask you, my brothers, after this 400 years, we see a murder, rape, and slavery. Do the oppressors now come waving the olive branch of integration? Is it that they really love us? Is it that they are sincerely sorry for their sins and seek restitution. If they love us, then why was there no evidence of this love in their hearts of their forefathers when they sold our fathers like cattle on the block? If they really seeking, then why do they not offer us some measure of restitution, an area of this country we can call on to the sons and daughters? They are not come to this hour because they love us, nor integration is a sign that they are sorry for their sins. The blunt fact is that our oppressors see fire coming. They see this fire coming. They know this was written. They know what is prophesied. They know what is written. They know what is prophesied of what's to come. Now, Edom said, we will rebuild the ruin. But this is what the Lord host says. They may build, but I will demolish, and you will see this with your own eyes. And says, great is the Lord beyond the border of Israel. I say this, when you see a father under, you know what I mean? The master. When a slave is honoring his master. So God says, well, if I'm a father, then where's the honor? If I'm a master, where's the respect? Now, it is you, white America, who he is after. Everybody can plainly see who God is after. So we see when it comes to this blunt fact is that the oppressor, they see their fire coming. They see this handwriting on the walls and know what it means. They will have you believe that the days ahead hold glory for this Christian world. My beloved, I, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, who must speak if it kills me, must die rather than lie, tell you this. I know tomorrow. I know the end of it all. Tomorrow is not heaven for this Christian world. Tomorrow is hell for this Christian world. You have a blind spot because you had not come to the religion of your people. Instead, you are weeping and mourning over this death of Jesus 2,000 years ago. You are going insane over the preaching of Jesus' life and death. Yet you don't weep, mourn, or go insane over this rape and lynching of your own people in your own time. It is a modern disgrace to see you shouting, having spasms in church over the mistake notion that God gave his only son to save this Christian world. What a shame. What fool God will give his only son to save the devil? What fool people will give their all in a vain hope that the devil can change his horns and lay down his pitchfork? See, the devil can despise himself into an angel of light. See, now the religion that brought us to the brink of destruction is the way of the oppressors. See, it's not our faith. It is not natural to us. Even more, the oppressor cannot follow the very religion he would teach us. I have no alternative but to tell you there is no life beyond this grave. See, there is no justice in the street. Bye. See, immorality is now here. We are the blessed of God. We must assure every means to protect ourselves. The message I bring is not for the cowards. Those of you who follow me must be ready to withstand the burp insults of those who come to investigate. The pride and claim that our ultimate aim is to undermine the American way of life. We have no such intentions. Our critics know it. There is nothing on the rug about what I say and teach. It is showered over the air and newspapers and on the street corners. Why then should you be intimidated by those who seek only to throw fear in your heart? Know what we say is right. How ironic it is that the very people who would charge us with disturbing the status quo themselves, going around raping, lynching, denying the citizens the rights to vote, taking the whole Congress to call you and me and everything from a beast to an immortal entity. Yet they unite with their kind. You see, they give aid and comfort to their own kind. They bring their common enemies to nothing. When then is this so wrong that you and I unite for the same end? If you listen well, you can hear the screams of a Negro in Tallahassee as she finally begged her four white abductors to leave her virtue intact. If you listen a little longer, you can hear the pleas of a Milwaukee black mother as she begged police to free her 6 and 7-year-old daughter from a white abductor who held them captive and took carnal liberty with them for over an hour. These acts of carnage must come to an end. To that end, I suggest the fall. First, we must discipline our women, if any of them are so blind as to consort with their oppressors, that we must take counsel amongst ourselves and with her. We must assure every pressure at our commands until she will return to a state of loyalty to her own. Much of the defection amongst our women scheme from the fact that they have been cordialed into following the oppressors' styles when it comes to hair, dress, and clothing. These are the baggage to sin. If you study the, the cost of transition of Islamic countries, you will see the proper matter of dress. See, these are the rules we must lay down and enforce if our women are to receive the respect due them. Of course, it must be realized that their oppressors seeks out our women to debase them. There is no will, love, and affections in his heart for them or us. She but becomes the tool of his pleasure, the object of his succor. Secondly, we must realize the difference between integration and separation. To integrate with evil is to be destroyed with evil. What we want indeed justice for us is to be set apart. We want and must insist upon an air in this land that we can call home, somewhere we can hold our head with pride and dignity without the continual harassment of the oppressors. Thirdly, we must realize that the black man in Africa is our brother, and our central responsibility is with the black man here in the wilderness of North America. For us to spend our energy pleading for the cause of Africa is like the blind man pleading that his fellow blind man be given eyes while he continues to stumble in darkness. Yeah, you keep thinking that Trump is the blessed man. Trump is the wild card of the trumpet. I'm sorry. That's why his name is Trump. Because the trumpet is going to sound. This man is going to be held accountable. This is your president. We don't want y'all to be furious at us, point the finger at us, because now y'all furious of what's to come. And every eye should be open. Every eye will see the fall of white America. Now, The solution to all these problems we see lies in a clear cut understanding of the truth. I have come to bring you that truth. Now I spell it out so that even the children amongst you know the nature of tomorrow. First of all, you must know the truth about God and the devil. We, the black man, are God. Our oppressor, whoever they may be, are the devils. Their nature is evil. They are incapable of doing good. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Putin is the boss, the mafia. You know, the sad thing, America will have to fight. I told y'all. There's the Cold War between America and Russia. There's this cold collision. And this is why I say America will never become victorious. You know, see, this universal war, she can never become victorious. Her divine dive was set to destroy her. Now, you must know the truth about this day of judgment. See, you have been taught that one day the dead and God shall rise again. See, you have taken that to mean that people will get up from the graveyards and walk about. See, this is what your pastors teach you, that people will get up in the graveyard and walk about. That's so much nonsense now. See, properly read this resurrection means that we now, the black man of North America, will rise from a mental death now. See, we will rise from a mental death. You have been bitten too many times from the snake to take God to move the venom that you've been bitten from. So realize who we are. Discover who God is. Name the devil from the beast that he is. Then, like Joseph goes on to become master of the land wherein once you were a slave. See, America burdened and trying to protect herself from the attacking nations of the world is tremendous. See, one that she would not be able to carry today. Therefore, she must succumb to the powerful forces that are coming against her. The fall of a nation makes way for another. As the earth continues on, all their nations and their civilization are limited upon it, except the original nation which takes on renewal and change. Though in appearance, America seems steadfast. She is moving towards an ultimate end. One great problem to be solved we see in this fall of America is the liberation of the so-called American Negro, the lost found people of the original black nations of the earth. They have been here for 4 centuries, mistreated, brought into a state of corruptions and shame. They now are being helped it, although they are as blind mentally as someone is physically. And all of their preparation of the divine supreme being and the nation of righteousness to remove the enemy of God, the righteous, from the earth. The poor so-called American Negro cannot see it. In the South, we saw Reverend Martin King Jr., a graduate of theology, as I'm told, on his knees, begging the divinely condemned people the right race for brotherhood. You, the so-called nigger, are too spiritually and mentally blind to see. Your heart is too hard against receiving the truth. And your ears are too thoroughly close to the truth that God Allah has says the right race is a race of devils created to be destroyed. This is true. It's verified in his Bible and the Holy Quran. Hundreds and thousands of preachers tremble at the thought of even accepting the truth and wish to take this followers to the fall of America. This is the problem to be solved. And if it is to be solved, then how shall it be solved? And what is the best method to use in a solution? It must be a solution that touch not only the enemy, but those who cleave to him while the wrath of Almighty Allah God. So the Holy Quran says that Allah God give life to this mentally dead so-called Negro. It is also made in the Bible where Ezekiel declared in his vision that all of the dry bones was resurrected. This does not refer so much to the word because the word has no effect on their resurrection. It literally took something more effective than a word. The wind that the prophet was to prophesy to represent war, which will eventually bring harm and suffering to rebellious rejecter of the truth. Starvation must come to the so-called Negro. Everyone's eyes should be open. The time of the ending of this world is now, and not yet to come, as you so foolishly think. See, study your own Bible. It is there. The end is predicted in hint in many places. Down in the Bible, however, give you a better knowledge of it than any other place. And the Holy Quran prophesies exact. Do not expect 10 more years. The fall will be within a few days. The so-called Negro must be stripped completely of his right man way of life, his name, and Christianity. The world of scholars and scientists know that this Christianity will not survive. They know Islam the only religion that will survive the destruction of this wicked civilization. Self first. Self first. See, we, the black people in America, do not think for self first. Failing to think for self first, we see is the greatest mistake we, the poor black people who are up from servitude slavery, or their fathers can make. But for the slave master, children are failures to think for self first is wiser than anything their fathers could hardly dream of in their day and time. Self first, and over 100 years, we the black people have not learned to think for self first. This is due to the fact that we tried to think something for the benefits of the slave master, something to make him smile at the free black slaves. Trying to win the love of the white slave masters have been the black people's greatest mistake. Now it has become our greatest mistake. To have love for them white race means the fire of hell. The God is heated, is being heated up for both you who love the devil and the devil too. Do not blame the white slave master for your love and desire for them above your love and desire for Allah God who love you. While the white slave master, the devil, does not love you. The devil nature will not let him love you. The white slave master is so full of deceits that he can deceive you and all others. The Bible teaches us. The Holy Quran refers to the white slave masters, the devil as the arch deceivers, as the devil has no equal. He is the professional, the wisest of all deceivers. So from the slave master preachers making parents up today, he is the professional, the wisest deceivers of all of the civilization of the earth, and have deceived all of the civilization of the earth today. The Bible teach you that he deceived the whole world. The white slave master, the devil, did not deceive us, the black people in America, alone. He had deceived every human being, well, except the angels of heaven, the arch deceivers. The white man had deceived the reverends that he had made. And this is why they would not accept Islam. They would rather go to hell with the white slave master, the devil, if the devil would just honor them as reverends that the devil has made. The Bible, John, we see in the Revelation, sees that the preachers and his followers burning in hellfire with the devil, the white slave masters. I do not care how much you teach or tell the reverends that he is headed for hell and fall on the white slave master, the devil. They ignore the warning for the sake of the honor of the white slave master. But when you look into it, you see the white slave masters is not honoring the reverends. He is fooling him. The white slave master cares nothing about the reverend that he has made. And he thinks that the reverend is a fool for following him. It is written in the Bible, which teach the reverends against following the devil. The people who work as the devil disciples are called reverend. The word reverend means to respect, but this is a false honor from the devil, and yet the reverend goes still. And you walk right into that lake of hellfire with the devil, as long as the devil call him reverend or father. Some of the devil disciples are called reverend after their pope, the chief father of Satan religions of Christianity. The pope claimed in the Bible that he would sit in the side of the north and be like the Most High. We see in Isaiah 14, 13, and 14. Yet Allah God promised to pull him down to hell. Isaiah 14, 15. And Allah God is going to pull him down real fast. The home of the Pope have gotten one of the worst beatings with plague. Snow, ice, the enemy, the worst beating that you ever can imagine coming to the head of the church. This shows that Allah God, the supreme being, does not respect wrong. And his father, whom they call Pope, if it was a holy place, we will not expect to suffer the curse of nature. We who live in America live in a cursed country. America is a cursed country. America is a divine place for Allah's enemies. And he promised to use America now for a lake of fire in which to burn all his enemies. The Indians, the first people who were sent to America. The Indians was also the enemies of Allah. Self first. The reverends are the enemies of their own black people. If the preacher do as this white slave master tell them to do, see, the white slave master killed them as he did Reverend Martin King Jr. But since they are the devil disciples, he should kill them if they do not obey him. That is right. And the devil wants to be a God like Allah, for Allah will kill those who do not obey him. So the devil killed those whom he sent who would not obey him. So look out, Reverend. Be careful, Reverend. The white slave master have proved in our own eyes and hearing by killing Reverend Martin Luther King Jr., who thought he was blessed to go to heaven, but instead he went to hell with his enemies. I do not mean a hell that is in the earth someplace, brothers. Reverend Martin King Jr. went to hell in the wickedness of his white enemy, trying to satisfy his white enemy. He gets no credit for all of the work that he did for his enemy, and his enemy knows that. I dare any one of the Christian theosophists to try to prove that Reverend Martin King Jr. went anywhere else. Good man that he was. Reverend Martin King Jr. was deceived and frightened to his very heart by the enemy. Self first. Think for self first. When Reverend Martin King Jr. talked with me at my home, I saw in him that he wanted to believe me, but he was so afraid of his enemy. Self first, you cannot serve two masters. I tried my best to put the fierceness in him. Reverend Martin King Jr. admitted to me that I'm teaching right. He admitted that the white man is the devil, but he was afraid to take a stand and preach that this white man is the devil. The white man has set Reverend Martin King Jr. up with 50,000 Nobel Peace Prize for this money the white man desired that Reverend Martin King Jr. go to hell with the devil. The devil did take Reverend Martin King Jr. to hell. If Reverend Martin King Jr. had lasted this day, he would have been in the same corner with me. The devil had Reverend Martin King Jr. and his power through fear. Fear and disbelief that we had been through all our life. We've been living through fear and disbelief. But we see good heart black brothers. Reverend Martin King Jr. had a good heart. But he was yet dead spiritually. Yet he was smart enough in his studies to see the truth of what I'm saying. So I went down to the Coliseum that we have rented for mass meetings. Told the public what a great time Reverend Martin King Jr. had at my home. I told the public what a great man Reverend Martin King Jr. was, and a white enemy shows Reverend Martin King Jr. what a great man he, the arch deceiver, was, and set Reverend Martin King Jr. up with the Peace Prize. Just as it is written, the arch deceivers is capable of deceiving the whole world except God's last messenger, the Lamb, the Bible revelations. Self first. Let us try and be ourselves first and stop trying to be like this devil. Black men, you are created black. You black men are the first and the last. Black men, stop trying to be white. If you see what Allah God hath prepared for the white slave master, the devil, you will run from the devil when you get a taste of it. Allah God hath prepared the fire of hell for them. The Holy Quran teaches that the black man will wish that between him and the devil was the distance between east and west. But you serve the devil. Love him because he has made you to fear him from the cradle to the grave. Wake up and take pride in black self and come on and follow me. I have the guy with me, the guy who says that there is no fear for the one who believes in him, nor shall you grieve. Just think of the blessing that is in those two promises. No fear, nor grief. I know we have feared and grief much. So if anybody needs a God to remove fear and grief, for him, we are sustaining the people. Fear of the devil, the white man, is what kept us back from enjoying heaven. If we do think to please the devil, we are most certainly members of hell. See, day and night, they are killing you and each other or their kind, and yet you want to please the devil. You cannot go to heaven pleasing the devil. To go to heaven, you have to please God. You black men are directly from the God of heaven. Black man, you are created to serve Allah. You was not created to serve the devil. Come and follow me, and there will be no fear for you, nor shall you grieve. We the Muslim fear none but Allah. If anybody needs to fear we move from him, it is frightened to death black man in America self first. The black man. See, the black man for the first time since he had been an arrestor is accepting himself as a black man and not as a colored man. Although the black man has been colored, now the black man learned that the coloring was false and that the coloring came from a robber, the devil. After he, the devil himself, had put our black fathers asleep to the knowledge of their black self, the white man pretty nearly destroyed all of the original color of us, and he added in his own color. Never have we, the black man, been so happy to be called black. In the book, the Bible teach us that God will come in one day and God will choose us, the black people, to be his people. We did not know anything about this false color part that God had in mind to remove from us, but now God is here amongst us and he is teaching us the knowledge of our color, and we love our own black color. And now we have learned that the color of our enemy had almost destroyed our original black. We are now waking up to the knowledge that black is the first color and the last color, if there be a last. And now that we have learned that the black is a better color, we want to be black. You just do not have a better color than black. See, black look good all the time. The beautiful part of black is that we love black. And since we now have the knowledge of the two colors, the black and the false color, we are separating the original black color from the false color so that we can preserve our own black color forever. The knowledge of the black self given to us by him who knows us, we all should be happy and rejoicing to know that we, the black people, was never a wicked people until we followed the wicked one, the white man, after his wickedness. God has declared us, the black man, to be the righteous, and God made it plain to see why we are the righteous. We are from the righteous black people by nature. We, the black man, are the righteous by creation, and we cannot be other than righteous. This is a happy time of the black man's life. It's the happy time of our life to learn who we are, to learn that who we are, the black man, is the best of people. Under the shadow of death, we, the black lost found of our people here in America, live under the shadow of death by way of cowardly enemies. Every one of us, we see the cowardly enemy seeks our death one way or another. The cowardly enemy will not fight you as a brave man will fight you if they think that you will fight back. They will steal on you when you least expect an attack from them. We live under the shadow of death. We flee from the cowardly enemy, the devil of the South, seeking refuge in the same cowardly enemy, the brother in the North. The enemy, the devil of the South, follow us to the North to see that his brother of the North does not treat us any better than they did in the South. They seek police jobs so that they can beat and kill us who are trying to escape. They seek to kill us or get us killed at any price. They do not care about our loyalty to them. In their hearts, there is death for us, the black man, in America. Today, they'll hold out promises to you only to deceive you. They know that Allah God is here, offering us to sit us in heaven at once. Since hell is their appointed place, they are trying to get us to go to hell with them on false promises. I have told you, believe it or let it alone. We live under the shadow of death. Now we see babies murdered, children is missing, children's mother is being murdered throughout her streets. Now, today, you read and hear that white America is agreeing to kill unborn babies. Today, they have set up a law for it. This is the worst sin that you can agree on, to have your babies killed before its birth. What are you going to do that for? You tried to put out an unformed story that you are getting to be too many people, and we have to cut down these birth rates. Who needs to cut down the birth rates? See, the black people have no need to cut down. They need to increase these birth rates. The earth and the heaven around the earth are ours. Who is going to go hungry? Do you not read the past history of how the righteous was always the winners and victorious people? So will we be the winners and victorious people. We are not thinking of anyone making us hungry unless it is Allah God. He came to feed us, as it is written, my righteous servant shall eat, but you shall go hungry. America hunger is starting at you now on unemployment. You cannot buy the food they used to buy. You had nothing to buy it with. This is why I plead with you. Come join up with me and let us go to the earth and grow our food, not to go walking around the city with a basket for the devil to drop food into. He will not help you, for he will not have any food to drop into his own basket. He had not only food stored up, but he had clothes stored up. He had plenty of this, but that does not mean that he cannot come to hunger and nakedness. If Allah God strikes at him, God bring the wicked into desolation before they can get started to strike back. See, murdering these black babies, see, the only one he should be thinning out is himself. The earth belongs to the black people. Now, what do we look like cutting down on our birth rate? Is there any narrow of the earth for us? The earth is being expanded for us. There's plenty of earth for us. For Allah God will clear this earth of its wicked population, and all those places will be taken by the Muslims. My God, to pay attention to the right man and let him slaughter the baby before and after their birth. This will be like what the fire worshippers did, who worshiped the fire god, Moloch. They took their babies and threw them to the fire to be burnt up to show their sincerity to the God of fire. Are you going to the enemy of this black man to have him deprive you of giving birth to a black baby, to let him kill it? And your worship of him? Do not you think that you are acting like a mighty big fool? I think that you are. This is our earth. How they squeeze it up so that there is no place to live, except they kill off black and brown people. No, black brothers and black sisters, I hope that you will read this and understand that we, the black people, the brown people, are true owners. And Allah God is giving our earth back to us. This is what he means, as well as the spiritual religion of us, when he said, accept your own. See, this is our earth. He's telling you to accept it. He will give it to you. The Bible teaches that the meek shall inherit the earth. The humble poor people will get the earth, for it belongs to them. We have parables in the Bible which the writer of the history of Jesus tells us was spoken by Jesus, of the parable of the lost sheep and the son to return to become the owners. This only means you and me. Why do not we take our place? Why should we give our babies to the enemies to be destroyed? Because he says you have nothing to feed them with. Follow me, and I'll show you and you will get more houses than you need and more money than you can spend. Help me, brothers, and Allah God will not deprive you of your good reward. I know you understand. See what we do for Allah God, He would do it for us. In this day and time, we're all tired. The wicked and the righteous are both tired. What sin has this poor black baby done for you to murder in your room? He had done nothing. It will come back to you in a terrifying way. Your conscience will condemn you for doing such, and all of our evil will come before us. Let us not be such fools today as to think that we have to cast our babies into the arms of a murderer to murder them for an excuse that he needs to do so in order to feed and house you. See, no place is crowded but the cities. There's plenty of room in the countries. The black men have never had a problem. See, look at China and India. They do not destroy their babies just because they do not have money. They try to have means to take care of them. See, China take care of her population. See, India does not take care of hers because she depends on Britain and other white people. We must remember that the right race have no part, no share on our earth. They only have a time to live on our earth. They did not have a share of actual earth itself. So let us not kill our black people for just the action of a murderer who is made to murder us. I warn you, do not think hard of him for doing what he was made for. But I do fault you for following him on what he was made for. When Abraham Lincoln and John F. Kennedy spoke out for Negroes, we see from this death of Abraham Lincoln to the assassination we see of President Kennedy. It proved that on each one of these occasions was outlaws, overruled legal authorities. Then the case and this president who opened their mouth and said something favorable for the so-called Negro. So we have in the case of President Kennedy who spoke out in favor of the so-called American Negro. See, brothers and sisters, I'm not saying this was the reason President Kennedy was assassinated. But we see it's very strange that every president who says something favorable for the so-called Negro paid for it with his life. We also can suscitate this by facts that any Negro wants to lead the so-called Negro into a better life towards truth, peace, freedom, justice, and equality, which he is entitled to enjoy, is also subjected to the same kind of assassination or attempt at assassination. I know these to be facts. There are some who seem not to want a true freedom, who will also speak unfavorable and plan unfavorable actions against those who dare to lead a true struggle for justice and equality. The tragic death of President Kennedy should serve as a warning to all rulers and people of values that value cannot be trusted openly in the presence of thieves and robbers. There have never been a president elected to such high office who had the hearts of everyone for him. And never was there a king who had the people wholeheartedly with him, regardless of how good the king, the president, prime minister, or the spokesman for the king or president. Rest in peace to John F. Kennedy and Abraham Lincoln. Now let's get started here. There may be some people who do not like the high official holding the top office of the nation. I think that they should be very protected and all precautionary steps should be taken to ensure such person's safety. Riding in open car or riding openly in the public is usually a needless risk taken by anyone holding such high office, especially when they are political officials. Those spiritual teachers, such as Prophet of God and messengers, their life had not been spared in the public according to recorded history of the life of these characters. They are both friends and enemies of public service, and we must be aware of them. Such outlaw action permitted in America is a disgrace and shame to the governments and to people who are recognized as world leaders, an example of what others should do in the way of friendships and cooperations. With the great scientific advancements that America has made, it does not seem possible in this modern time that the tragedy that took place on the 22nd of November should have happened. This is a long way from the assassination of President William McKinley. There are 62 years between the two assassination of presidents of the United States of America. And with such great advancements in the scientists of protection, these things should have never happened. Again, it shows to the world that the governments of America and its people are actually given to such outlaws and violent actions. To take human life at will, disregarding their own legal laws against such actions, makes this country be classified as a country of governments, an outlaw where people have no safety of their lives under laws which claim to safeguard the life of human beings. The natural elections, the black men of America have been privileged by the slave master children for this last centuries to vote for right for office to judge and rule. This freedom to vote has made the black man of America feel very identified, proud of himself. He goes to the poll very happy to vote for a white ruler. Today, he is gradually changing to a desire to vote for his own kind for such office of authorities. We must remember that our vote is strong and powerful only when and where the white man can use it to get in the office over his white opponents. At the election, in the victory, there are very few favors that come from his office today to the black voters who have helped and aid him in getting in office. Why? Because he does not own the black voters anything. As long as he has to feed, clothe, and shelter him. The black votes could be cash or not cash. The right citizens of the governments are going to win and continue to rule anyway. There is much talk of this man, and that man who shall the vote the people put in the White House for the next 4 years. How much good have the two parties we seen, Republicans and Democrats, done for us for the last centuries in a way of freedom, justice, and equality? Regardless what party wins, the die is always set against us, the black people in America. Injustice, corrupted politics, the breathing of corruptions under politics have been practiced ever since Adam to the present day rulers. Adam was the first. There have not been justice for this black man and this race of people. And this is why the race suffered from the effect of today. There are black politicians who would like to use the black people for selfish greed and will throw down behind any crock with money. Black politicians of this type have sold their black brothers to suffer shame for self-evaluation with the crock. This election is one of the most serious in the history of American governments, because neither party that seeks the office or presidency is faced with the problem of saving the life of the people of America. If the present party Democrat remain in office, you know the answer. If the Republican Party take over, you should know the answer. There will be a lull before the storm. The storm can be delayed in every hour and day that it can be delayed. It's to your benefit. The black man should be very serious and careful about his voting because 90% of the black votes cast are cast by one who did not have the knowledge of what they are casting their votes for. I have said for many years, vote for Allah God to be your rulers and come follow me. The dead are rising, they seek their own. The dead are we, the black one slave of this white man of America. We are a mentally dead people. We are dead to the knowledge of self and others. The knowledge of self has now come to us from God, to whom praise are due forever. Is a man. His teaching brings us into reality and not into some kind of spooky spirit or ghost like teachings. Master Fala Muhammad, to whom praise are due forever, is the all wise living God. We desire that we see him as he is, a human being, and not something beyond the families of human beings spooksome. We can never ask a forming spirit to lead us because we are not a forming spirit ourselves. Man can only listen to man. Man cannot listen other than man. And have proof we just never was able to obey anything but ourselves. We the once dead mentally are coming to a knowledge of life when we learn this lesson of the living. It will destroy the brief and other than ourselves, bringing us up in slavery time, putting us into a mental death was something that the slave master and children did because a desire to make us into something that was other than the truth in order to be able to keep our minds enslaved. From the visit of God and the person of Master Fala Muhammad, to whom praise are due forever, the time now has come to us, as it is written, that on this day of judgment we shall see God as he is. The Bible Revelation, chapter 1, verse 7. The rise of the dead does not by any means mean what you and I was taught when we was little boys and girls. And even while we were little boys and girls, in man and woman age, we are still pushed on the baby side for understanding of the truth. We the black people are no longer babies. We are babies to no one except God himself. You are fast learning that you are not babies anymore, but on your rise up from the dead knowledge of black self and others. You are learning fast that Allah God is fast in creating us in a new way of thinking. From the way in which we have been thinking was in a way of untruth and unseemly way of understanding. America is a country we see where evil is dominant, and the people in America think nothing but evil. It is very solemn that you can talk to a person without getting a thought quickly that their mind is filled with evil. We, the black people in America, are called dead spiritually. And we, the black people in America, now desire to make for ourselves something better than what the slave master children have made of us. We want to do something better for ourselves than what the slave master children still do make of us. Look at many people who used to be stage actors who are now forsaking the stage as being a mockery to them, are now former stage actors who want to be seen and convert with as civilized black people and not as some kind of a stage actor. The white stage actors are with some sense because they are civilized. A meaningless act is not enjoyed by people who are intelligently learn into the knowledge of civilization. But the poor black man in America have no knowledge of any civilization. But the white man had gotten to all of the civilized people of the earth, and he knows them, and they know him. This is why now a war between civilization must take place, because the present ruler, right race, had deceived the whole entire civilized world with a civilization of deceits. The right race was made for the purpose of making mischief. The right race was made for the purpose of deceits. And now the Almighty God has come to make manifest that which had been hidden of the truth is run the white man from under his deceitful blanket, which had the white man covered. As the Bible teaches us, God will pull the covering off of their cover and show the nation his right race shame. If the white men have not been uncovered by Almighty God, Allah, came in the person Master Muhammad, to whom praise or due forever. I do not see any cover left from the white man's skins. But Allah God is pulling the cover off of the right race. This make it possible for us, the black people who is dead to this knowledge of the truth, to see the natural characteristics of this deadly white enemy of the black man. Now we can stun our enemies like we do a rattlesnake. When we see the rattlesnake or hear his rattle sting, we begin to try and seek cover for the rattlesnake if we are not able to kill, for we know his deadly sting. But this snake white race hath overtaken us. He has bitten us so many times that we have become so poisoned from his blood, and from his poison getting into our blood from his sting, that it has taken God now to come to prevent the snake from continuing to sting us. Allah God has that cure for being bitten by the snake. He will separate both of us from being involved with each other, so that the snake poison sting will not affect us. The black men in America have never knew anyone but the right race. So therefore, the black men seek pacification and mercy from a people. You cannot blame this white man for what he is. You cannot blame him for being what he is. For the white people was made the people that they are. And the white man has made us, the black men, other than our own selves. At the present time, we are not like we were when we was created in the beginning. In the beginning, we was created right, and then we was deceived by the deceiver, who was made a deceiver by nature. Our black people are rising up, and we are happy to rise to that knowledge of self and others. See, this rise of the dead will be like the blast of a trumpet pretty soon. The black people will be coming to the knowledge of themselves so fast that it will look like the rise of the dead has taken place at once. I just love to look at my black people now, and all of them are rising, and listen to them talk, see how much different they are. My black people must get out of these white man's names, but my black people must be qualified to enter the real ritual names of Almighty God Allah. Come to the temple of Islam and learn all about yourself. And after learning all about yourself, you'll be able to take those who enslave you and warp them around your little finger. And you will not feel them on your little finger until you see them on your little finger and snake them off. Allah, God love you. I love you. We want to build this world for ourselves, to live in this world in peace and happiness. The resurrection of our people. Now we have the resurrection of our people. We see this old world must be removed to make way for a new world. There is a universal struggle being waged by the old world against the beginning of a new world. Will this old world opposition prevent the establishment of a new world. According to recorded history, the effort being made by the old world against the beginning of a new world will fail, as did former opponents of Allah. According to the history of Noah, the people ridiculed the very thoughts of Allah, bringing a flood to drown them. See, Noah was laughed at and succumb for preaching such a doctrine according to the Bible and the Holy Quran. He was called a liar and looked upon as a crazy person. See, some of the members of Noah's family joined the mockers and disbelievers of Allah and his messengers, who is Noah. They made the same fate as the others who disbelieved. The opposition of that world to a better world was total, a failure. So shall it be with those today who oppose the beginning of a new world of righteousness Islam. In the time of Abraham and his nephew Lot, before the birth of Ismail, Isaac, Abraham's two sons, the people mockers and haters of truth and righteousness in that part of the world. We see the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah have become victimized to every imaginable evil, to even threaten the life of the preacher of righteousness, Lot, disregarding strangers. Angel visited Lot until it was too late. So it is with the opponents of the messenger of Allah today here in America. The wicked always believe today that they are mightier than Allah. They make the supreme effort to thwart his plan and purpose of Allah to bring about a better world. They always love to attack this messenger, to try to condemn him as a liar. Trying to prove the messenger a liar means calling Allah a liar. The Holy Quran repeatedly prophesies a miserable, shameful, and disgraceful defeat for the disbelievers and hypocrites in a campaign against the last messenger of Allah, whom Allah will rise in the time of the resurrection of the dead people. The messengers are never sent, they are always arise in the midst of those whom Allah will warn, so they can't claim that they did not understand the language of the messengers, or say that he is a foreigner or a stranger. The messengers is one from them. For nearly 34 years I have served you just as Allah, a one of old, served a hard-headed, disbelieving people, who was great lovers of the enemies of Allah, and a true religion of Islam, which means entire submission to the will of Allah. There is mockery and evil plans are made against my life by the wicked, just as it was made against Noah, the prophet. The powerful rich world of Christianity, especially America, is made to seem as movable as the mountains. But it is not impossible to remove mountains. They can be removed by high explosives. So wealth and power also can be reduced to nothing. We are now living in a judgment, a doom of this white man's world. We see preparation have been made to every effort by the white man to oppose the beginning of setting up of Allah's new world of righteousness Islam. The government of USA today watch my follow with an evil eye, seeking to deceive anyone who would enter the fold to help further the cause of truth and the upliftments of the mourning heads and the grieving hearts of the American so-called nation, to help make them a nation of righteousness and justice, to serve as a star for the nation of their own kind forever. The U.S. government is active in a deceitful work of trying to slow the progress of the resurrection of our people. The American whites want us to reject Allah and the true religion of Islam and believe in their false religions and false gods whom they cannot make manifest to you. They cannot prove to you in this day and time that Christianity is a defense for you as well as for themselves against their doom. America must be taken to destroyed, according to the prophets, at the time and end of the wicked world where the lost and found members of the ancient people are found. America hates and mistreats the slave to the extent that it reached the hearts of Allah and the righteous people of the earth, the nation of Islam. We read where the black brothers refer to the American so-called Negro as their brothers, while according to the preaching of some of these lost and found members of the nation of the earth, the rather have themselves referred to as their brothers or their enemies. The extent to which the enemy have poisoned the minds and hearts of my people here in America is shameful. They willfully do anything to deceive the so-called nigger into going to their doom with them. There is no way for the enemy of Allah, his messengers, his people, the darker people of the earth, to find strength, power, wisdom enough to win in a war against Allah, as it is written in the Christian Bible and many other places. But the days of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, and you with the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with a fervent heat. The earth also, and the earth that are therein shall be burnt up. We see this Bible, Peter chapter 3:10. The earth shall not be burnt, it will be here for many thousand years to come. Only that on the earth, the devil which has sinned against Allah, his laws will be destroyed. The earth, the sun, the moon, the stars have never disobeyed Allah since their creation. We see the poser of truth. Adam and Eve, the father and mother of this white race, refused the religion of Islam peace because we see of their nature in which they was made. This making it possible for the white race to submit to Allah and obey his laws of righteousness. This the law found of the nation from this tribe must learn of this right race that it is a race of time to seek mercy and justice from a people who by nature do not have it for each other. They talk and preach this goodness of God and his prophets only to deceive you, who by nature are of the God of righteousness, and to fall them away from my God, a God who does not exist, or to that false God who does not exist. Now we see our future is at stake. 99% of us do not know it. Where every evil spooner around you seek an excuse to do their worst to you. Make it hard for the 99% ignorant to ever know the truth. The greatest desire is to prevent you from ever accepting the truth. They claim the truth, but they hate real teachings. They seek any kind of charge to place against us to get revenge for our preaching the truth. They trap our telephones and follow us around from place to place and use tape recording machines. And the hypocrite stool pigeons amongst us keep them up to date on what we say and do. They are bold enough to even ask your own relatives to help them to do you evil and due to fears and ignorances on the parts of my poor people. The enemy hired them to destroy themselves. See, truth hurts the guilty. Will persecution, murdering the truth, bears help the evildoers in this late hour or the day, the end of their time?